Hello, hello, hello. Maria Cullimore here from M's Ear. And it's another Wednesday night, so we're going to get into a conversation about something. I thought tonight I would talk about romance and what romance is for one couple as opposed to the next, and how there's no set format. Flowers doesn't work for every girl, chocolate isn't every girl's thing. It's really about what is it that person likes. And you really have to sometimes be paying attention and listening in order to find that thing that works for your particular partner. Some men don't like gifts, but they like quality time, or they like that you've set aside something for them, or lots of hugs and lots of snuggling, and you'd be surprised, or lots of touch, contact. We're always talking about the five love languages. So I hope by now you figured out what your partner's love language is. Do they like lots of praise? Do they like connection, as in physical connection? Do they like acts of kindness, where you do something for them that they really wanted done? Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. Is it, what's the other one? Quality time, where you spend lots of quality time, maybe not mine. Or is it gifts? Like, is your partner a gift lover? So you have to know your partner. And I am always recommending that people listen. And when I say listen up, we use that word so loosely that we sometimes forget what's involved. And this is good not only for being exceedingly romantic this upcoming week and next week, when the actual Valentine's Day is. When you're listening, it's more than just hearing what the person said. It's kind of understanding where they're coming from. And I'm always saying to people, be humble when you're listening so that you can ask, okay, could you explain that? Could you tell me what you mean by that? And I know women tend to go, oh, it don't matter, don't be bothered. And what it really is you're taking me to my place of vulnerability. So I don't want to seem like I need this from you. I don't want to seem needy. I don't want to seem like this is drama. So I cutting out at this point. But that's really vulnerable. So you have to ensure and reassure them that, look, this is sincerity. I am interested. I really would like to know what it is you mean by this. And this is more for clarity and better understanding of us. I am not doing it to mock you, or am I making fun of you? And actually, women are very sensitive about being mocked, as in I want to not come across like a fool at the end of it. And it's a general fear. It's a socialized fear as well, because, women dog other women quite often, very badly, over relationships in the States. Like, you could know something before you do it. You're not going to know what somebody's like before you do it, because you can't see down the road. You're not clairvoyant. And even if you were, it would be no fun. And people talk about people being worthy and not worthy. You are two energies, two souls who come together because there's attraction on some level. And that person brings something to your world, whether they're so-called worthy or not worthy. But a lot of us don't think like that, and we get very protective of what we're willing to share, whether you're worthy to share with. Are you serious about sharing? Because it's no point me talking if I don't think you're listening. So understand that you want to be a better listener holistically for the betterment of any relationship, as well as it avoids arguments and a whole bunch of other stuff, because you've been listening. And as this guy was saying, the better you don't understand women, this gentleman was saying, sorry, could you hold for 1 second? Right, sorry about that. What was I saying? I was saying that, sorry, my kids are home. So trying to figure out how to do this show and manage home. Excuses. What was I saying to you now? About, we're talking about listening and the importance of it and how this gentleman was saying. This gentleman was saying that when his wife is angry, trying to rationalize with her is not a good time. Go with whatever she's ready going with. She will rationalize for herself in the morning or later on, but in that moment, don't try correcting or do. No, it may not be so for all women, but I've also found that for at the point of any argument, when people are hot, when people are upset, when people feel affronted, then is not the time to teach the lesson. So maybe you want them to calm down a bit, or you want them to be in a better place for you to then rationalize with them. Okay, hon, now that you're calmer, we can discuss your level of your contribution to that particular issue and whether it was, whether you needed to look wider, look different, whatever. So, as well as listening then, I always say good timing on what you're going to do and when you're going to do it is important as well. But in the listening, I have always found that to ask for clarity without first jumping, and this now is from both ends. You're not listening just to hear her better or him better, but you're also listening for you to hear better, to hear what they're really saying to you. Because people use lots of words, but the message isn't always in the words. Sometimes the message is in the tone, the intonation, the side things they're saying or the side things they're not looking at. So it's a whole process. Language is body language as well as communication, as well as it's everything mixed in together. And so you have to be very on point with paying attention to these things in order to hear what your partner is actually saying to you. And so I always suggest that you ask, but you also reserve to not react until you've heard the whole speech. Because often what happens is if you could let somebody finish what they're saying, you'll understand so much more of what my kids making faces, I apologize. So much more of what they're actually saying. So sometimes we cut people off mid-sentence, but we don't know where they were going with it. But sometimes what is really about is sharing. It's not about getting it right. So sometimes they're babbling on because they're trying to clear it up in their head. And the conversation isn't about you getting the story. The conversation is about them working out the layers of what they're working out within themselves. So a lot of communication is just that, listening. And so you want to be romantic this weekend? Make sure you're listening. Because some things may come up. Some old things, some new things. And because right now it's Valentine's and you want to be romantic and you're looking to score points, good evening. You want to score points, or you want to make a great impact with the person. You tend not to, you tend to also in the process rake up some stuff. So you could literally go through the whole week not knowing if you can hit or miss, even although you think you're planning an amazing Valentine's. And so, in general, to get a better relationship, you need a good listening skill. So use that period. But when we talk about romance now, and we're talking about having a great romance, what you want to do is, especially to me, for men, slow cook your partner the whole week. I'm giving you a heads up. It's Wednesday. You have from tomorrow till next Thursday to slow cook your partner with sentiments, things they love. Something as simple as asking them, hey hon, there's an online test on what's your love language. I'd love to know what yours is. Could you do it? If you can sign it, just Google it. But there is a test you can do, and it's lots of fun. And see where they are. You could play that game. Then once you know what that person likes, and if you've got a really good memory or you're looking at patterns of past things, no, let me give you a simple pattern that people don't realize. Your first argument is generally always the argument you're going to have in a relationship. And you ask, like, what? How can you have? It's the same argument. The problem is there'll be different dressings on it, but it's probably about the same exact subject matter, which is either being valued, being understood. I don't think you're listening to me. I don't, whatever it is. Do not mind the surface of it. It may come in different forms. I don't feel you trust me. I don't feel you honor me. It's going to be the same exact. So you got to go back over what were your past arguments over. And in that, you're going to hit the hinge pin of what is the area of this relationship that needs work. It really isn't about how good we live together. It's often how good we fight together or fight for this. So for example, you may have a partner who y'all never fight because they're not confrontational. But it doesn't mean they don't do things that totally irritate you, frustrate you, create great emotion. But understand that they aren't doing it often to you. It's more of an issue within yourself that you could sort out as to letting that irritate you, as well as an issue within them you could accommodate if you recognize it. Like, okay, so they don't like uncomfortable situations or they don't like new things. But that puts a lot of weight on me. How am I going to handle this? Am I going to confront them and express to them that despite this, they still have to do it? Am I going to? You have to decide how you're going to handle it. You just have to go over some of your worst arguments and really make an assessment of what part of that argument really upset me the most. Why did it upset me? To what extent? Like on what level did it upset me? Why would something like that even get to me, and to such an extent with them that I get so heated that it causes that feeling I have? And you might discover something as simple as, I don't feel that you support me, and then if I don't feel that support, I don't feel the level of security I need to feel to relax in a relationship and let you do your part and me do mine. I feel like you've disappointed me so many times, or I felt disappointment so many times. I so don't want that. I overcompensate by doing my job and yours. Or it could be any number of things. I am sure if you sit with it for a little while, it will come to you. But address that so that right off the bat, you might be able to solve one of your biggest collisions, that one of the repeated argument. The argument that keeps coming up, that, or you have to ask yourself, can I give this person the thing they're asking me for? Because a lot of us, what the partner wants is cake. If you can just figure out what they'd like and give it to them, then it's easy. Within reason, as in, just as we said, the 5 love life. If it is that you like, I'm sorry, give me a second. Neville! Right, sorry. My son is on the phone with his friends and he has in headphones, so he ain't hearing me good. Right, where was it? So again, what you're thinking about is once you know what that thing is they need, give that to them. Whether it be cuddling, whether it be gifts, come home. If you know somebody likes gifts, drop them all over the house. I guess the person who likes gifts don't necessarily want something expensive. They like the wrapping and the discovering. They like the cute notes. So maybe you could write warm fuzzies all week. And if you're not familiar with what warm fuzzy is, the things I love about you. So you've got a week. You can spend a week writing all the different things you appreciate about the person and leave them all over the house in post-it notes. You open the fridge and you see this piece of paper and it says, I love the way you always cover our basic food needs. I love the way you cook. I love how you smell. I love whatever you love about them. And leave that. We're talking about slow cooking here. So you can leave notes all of those. If they're affection, use the speak for every instance to brush, touch, compliment. And if you haven't been doing it before, you don't want to do too much of it and come across odd. But instead of walking around a space, rub against them in a space. You know, pass where you know you got the whole path that you could pass around, but you still come and squeeze through so you can rub up against them, or rub the shoulder, or, you know. I know this lady was saying, and I always loved this. She was talking about the 5 ways men can make women happy. The one that I want to address now is the kissing your wife. He says, if you kiss your wife 3 places that are non-sexual, so somewhere like her forehead, her eyelids, not the ears, that would be sexual, not the cheeks because that's become too mundane, her nose, maybe even her hand, and say something to the effect, I appreciate you and what you do for us, you will have an amazing ease and difference in her. Because a lot of times it's a confirmation of, am I doing it right? Am I even getting any of it right? Life is rough and we get into bill paying, especially when you get married. You get into bill paying, you get into existing, and you can forget to be romantic. You can forget to be appreciative. So when you leave in the morning, don't kiss her lips, don't kiss her inner ear, kiss her down in her neck, kiss her in the forehead, kiss her in her eyelids, kiss her in her hands. I really appreciate you and all that you do around her. And if it's you, the woman, call him in the middle of the day and say the exact same thing. I appreciate the contribution having you in my life has given me. I appreciate what we do. And even if they think it's weird, like, what is up with you? This? If you're consistent enough, they'll relax and know that it's also coming from a sincere place. And make sure that it is. And people will be like, it means yes, I'm asking you to step out of your comfort zone. And yes, I'm asking you to be kind to yourself and to somebody else. And be honest with you and yourself. You love this person. Somebody may be getting on your freaking nerves, but you don't want them going out your world. So guess what? Say that. You drive me up a wall, but I still love you. I prefer you here than not. I'd like you to change lots of things, but I guess there's lots in me I need to change too, so I guess we're in this for a little longer. You know, just be honest. Surrender to the reality of your world. It makes you lighter. It makes the connection between the two of you lighter. That vulnerability. Yes, vulnerability means you know what I'm thinking. And yes, in theory, you could have an upper hand. But vulnerability also means that you are truer to you. And you can really have an absolutely beautiful experience and a great growth in the relationship just by something that simplistic. So remember, we're talking about, we're going to slow cook that partner this week. Slow cook them, enjoy them, bond, do lots of bonding stuff this week. If you really want that Valentine's to be great, build it up to greatness. So something as simple as watching TV together, and you let them put their foot across you, and you rub their foot, or you talk to them, or you have a conversation by putting them on both of your phones and saying, look, 5 minutes us time, no phones, no electronic gadgets, just us. How was your day? What was the best part of your day? What was the worst part of your day? How'd you cope? What would you think you could do differently? What would you like to have done differently? How could I have helped if I was there? And do you need my help still? You need to have deeper level conversation to get a deeper level relationship. You can't keep doing the watered down stuff. Hey, how are you? You good? All right. Yeah, you want to go later? And no, I don't. Oh, all right. Why not? What's up? You don't really love going to anything, so I ain't in a mood. I having a rough time at work. Or what happening at work? And what drama going on? And sorry about that. What drama's going on? What? Find out. Because you're living with this person. And let me do something. What I find with couples, you start living together and you take each other for granted. So you don't know how their day is going. You don't know what challenges they're having at work. You don't know what's up for them in their world. Something as simple as they're seeing signs of something and it's got them offset. You don't know that there's somebody in the office that cracks them up and they're growing fond of it. They're dealing with, why am I growing fond of that person? And they're busy fighting it as opposed to just letting it pass. And that's a hard thing to do, but talk about that later. You don't know. And you stop asking. You've got to keep asking the good questions, You've got to keep asking meaningful things. You got to keep having meaningful conversations. So meaningful conversations is another very, very important process to slow cooking. So I think I've talked more than enough. Let me just review, recap, make sure we're on target. You've got a week before Valentine's. You want your Valentine's to be special. You want it to transform your relationships. You don't just want it to be. You want it to make an impact. So how are you going to do that? Very simply. You're going to listen better. You're going to have meaningful conversation. You're going to find out that one thing that keeps coming up in the argument and addressing it on your end. So the next time that argument comes up, at least you can take out one person out of that argument and diffuse it because you have addressed your end. You have addressed, why does this get you so? Is it true? Or is this attached to other ideas? What are these ideas? Are they true? Or am I conjuring up old emotions that know nothing to do with my new reality and making them real? And if so, how can I calm that? How can I fix it? How can I improve on it? And even although the next argument might not work immediately, the fact that you're searching, answers will come. People will come into your space. Things will come up and you'll be able to fix it. So you're going to do that as well. So remember, we're slow cooking all week. Beautiful warm fuzzies, all the ways you appreciate them. The unnecessary call in the middle of the day. The pop-up visit, the touching, the sweet. I believe in connection. I believe it's nearly impossible to argue when someone's hugging you. So lots of hugging if possible, lots of stroking and talking. And remember, the magical kiss areas are not sexual. The non-sexual kiss that just completely, and look, you got some good stuff. Use that this week. The other things that go into dinner, and those are icing trimmings, which really and truly one should be doing every month. So Valentine's shouldn't be over the top nothing because you're accustomed to it. But if you're not doing it, and you want the aim then to be something that y'all do as a getaway from the kids, getaway from everything else, and spend that quality time together, lock yourselves in the room and eat your food and watch movies. If that's your kind of thing, do the thing that is most romantic and exciting for you. Hey, myself. I just recap for you. But you've got a week. Slow cook that relationship. Romance is not about a quick fix. It's not just the night you're going out to dinner and then we go back to a crappy relationship. It's about fixing that relationship. Hi, Marcel. Thank you for joining us. It's about having an amazingly romantic week. And that requires work. So, for myself who just came, as I was recapping, listening is important. I don't think we listen effectively. We kind of jumping in the middle, not letting the person complete the concept or the idea when they themselves are speaking to work it out. So let them finish speak, listen with no judgment, and then clarify before you two have an opinion or reaction to it. Step out of your comfort zone. You know, you're not going to be your most comfortable, but you gotta say your truth. Say what's true for you in that moment. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I want from you. This is where I'm going with this. And so make sure that you are honest and upfront. And then have deeper conversations. Have meaningful conversations. Don't have any crappy conversations, you know, where you just surface stuff. You want to get deeper. You know, what do you want out of this? Where are you going with it? You know, what was the greatest part of your day? What was the worst part of your day? And, you know, how can I assist? How can I make your day better? As well as you want to show lots of affection, lots of touching, kissing, sweet notes, calls, naughtiness, lots of naughtiness. If I haven't said that before, lots of naughtiness. The naughtiness is also for you. You want to have a really good, you might be putting a lot of pressure on yourself for Valentine's. So you want to have a really good sexual experience. You also have to make sure that the naughtiness, the reality of you, the naughty pictures, the naughty, I know everybody criticizes when you get them, but, and trust me, a dick pic from the body in a relationship is fine. A dick pic from some stranger is creepy and you should stop that foolishness. But if you and the person are in an intimate relationship already, then those things are fine. You want to show some naughty lingerie, take a picture, whatever. If they already say they find you sexy, then be your sexiest self. And do it for you as much as them. Do it for you. Embrace that part of you. Just enjoy being wicked. Enjoy being ticklish with this person. It's not the world you're asking for. And if, you know, footage being left on these systems and being everywhere, and I understand that's scary, great, then do it live. Do a live call. So that, you know, you don't have any record after. Nobody has a record. You're good to go. But again, embrace yourself, because the more you love you this week, the more you take care of you. One, the less pressure you put on the other person. Two, the better you can ask for what you really want. Excuse the background noises. Anyway, the better you can do for what you really want. So go after what you really want. What do you want to have? I want to have an amazing week for Valentine's. I want to have an amazing relationship in general. I want to enhance my whole relationship. Do that. Enhance the whole thing by enhancing you. You know, I'm going to reiterate. Arguments that flare up because we are asking for something we've always wanted, and it's completely being misconstrued. So this person is annoying you because this is something you hold dear and you want a particular reaction to. My comment is always fix that within you so that you are no way incapacitated by it. I'd like you to spend more quality time with me. I'd like us to finish a conversation. I'd like when we start a conversation and we talk that we're going to do something, I'd like action and results. What do I do if you don't deliver? What do I do? What can I do for me that will take the edge off so that I am not pushing that anger at you? Hey, sorry. The weight against you thing is sometimes hard to see. But welcome. And you want to remember to always be as honest with yourself as possible. Because that alone brings a better relationship. The better you treat you, the better you're going to get out of that relationship. The more you understand you, the more you make that relationship richer. You make that relationship. You're already bringing. You don't got to worry about if it's 50-50. If you bring in the 100, you just got it from there. Whatever percentage them bring should bring in the top. But once you're bringing the 100, you're good. So bring the 100. I was saying be romantic. So remember, romance is, for me, slow cooking. It's not something you want to just do the Valentine's night. No. You want to be sending cards and small notes and naughty pics and lead up to it. Make it excitement. Actually, you can decide to do celibacy until night, so it builds sexual tension. And if you're in a relationship and you can't figure out build sexual tension, when I'm really into it, and recently, which is not a good sign. I am always for couples having lots of contact. So even if you're not having sex, you can still build sexual tension, and you should still be having lots of contact. When you get to the stage where the two of you are passing and making sure you're not touching each other, when I got issues, and you need to address them. Skirting around them constantly will only make for worse and builds more and more resentment. And remember, a lot of the resentment that we build is the things we conjure in our minds. So if they're not addressed, or you've not told them to go away, you're going to make things worse yourself. So sometimes we believe people have lost interest in us, or we believe they're not attracted to us anymore. When in truth and in fact, that's what we conjured up, because we've did this so-called mass sound. But you don't do this, the more, so you're interested, not realizing that they have a whole set of issues now blocking them from showing that the way it is. And so it may not be true. So let's not tell ourselves things that defeat us. It doesn't matter whether it's true. Truth is what you make it. I know before I thought things are true or they're not. I found out like that's not true. What you tell yourself is the truth. And you can tell yourself he is still crazy about me. And you can treat him like if he's still crazy about you till he himself is unsure that he isn't crazy about you. Like, okay then. And you know, those who are single, do not let that be an issue for your Valentine's. Treat you good this Valentine's. Take you out. And I'll be doing a Monday crap with other single people. No. Because the worst part about that is then you ain't gonna actually meet nobody because you with a group and nobody gonna approach. So you gotta dress up with you is the schnizzy. Carry yourself out. Drink, have a good time. Be that person at the bar giggling so hard or laughing or looking so comfortable with themselves that everybody is attracted by your good energy. You cannot be the person who is looking unsure. Half of the thing that kills me with single people is you want it and you don't want it. You gotta want it, know you deserve it, and even if it's only for that night, so you in bored, believe somebody can ask him, and we can have a ball, and we can we're the greatest couple ever that night, even if he in the one I want, not because of any other reason than I deserve good things. Good things may not always be sustainable right now because you haven't worked out how to sustain them, but to do them and enjoy them, that is the key. So enjoy them. You want to go out? Call somebody. Do not call a best friend if you're hoping to get a date. If you're comfortable with your single, then yes, please go with your best friend. Go with whatever. But enjoy yourself and have such a good time. You attract good energy. You attract people because of your absolutely gorgeous. And I don't talk about women. Women dress great, but they still carry a closed energy. No, you gotta be open, fun-loving, flirtatious. I am the schnizzy. So this Valentine, I challenge my single friends to take themselves out, dress to the nines, and act like you're schnizzy. When you walk in, other women gotta tap their partners to tell them to stop looking at her. Because you look so amazing. And the same for men. I know what I want. I'm confident. I'm going to walk over to somebody and I'm going to ask them, would you like to have dinner with me? Would you like to hang out with me? Because that's what I'm going to do for myself. Because I deserve. And don't talk to foolishness about whether people are worthy. You're not trying to keep them forever. You're trying to enjoy your night. Focus. Don't mix you two up. We mix them up all the time. Your partner is going to come when you are at your highest radiance. You don't know what that is. You know, you don't know a lot of things till you're on the other end of it. And when you are dating someone who likes you and you're not into, you can see how neurotic you get when it's the other way around. And you have to take a good look at yourself and say, is this what I want? What am I really? What am I like when I'm a whole individual? And yes, you want to give as much as you put out, but you know, there's sometimes when you're silly, and it's okay to be silly. Sometimes when this particular guy, this particular guy is overwhelmingly, you just want to be around him. You're no way. Just like the energy. If that's what you're feeling, work with it. Enjoy that energy as long as they allow you around it. And learn what you can from the experience. Don't knock it. So, my single friends, take yourself out for this week. Treat yourself well all week too. All week. Lots of attention given to you. Take yourself out. Dress well all week. Feel special. Valentine's is about love. Loving you is just as important. So what are you going to be like to radiate the individual you want? You're going to be confident. You're going to know that you're totally in love with yourself and comfortable with who you are, so that they know they're stepping to the right person. There are no surprises in somebody who already looks like they're comfortable with themselves. You're going to embrace that. And once you embrace that and treat that well, you're going to have an amazing week, because you have dictated the pace of that week. You have dictated what's going to come out of it. So for the couples, rekindle. For the singles, open up. Open up, look people in the eye, smile at them. Look like, I got my stuff together. So that if that one is out there trying to get your attention, you're working too hard because you are opened and aware, and you can say no, you can say yes, you'll know what energy you like. They're allowed to come, and you're allowed to back them down for ones you don't want. You can dismiss any of them. But if they don't come, because suppose you're never going to meet one to like. And even ones you're fussy about, they're great for learning from. Because everybody's actually worthy. I am sorry my TV was since the beginning, right? But either which way, the shows, you know, the show's 1.5 hour. I found I used to talk too much to myself. So, regarding the show, I think I would go for my half hour. But what I will say is, I really want to do better for Valentine's. I want you to slow cook your partners. Lots of love and affection all week long. That builds into something amazing that night if you're putting that pressure on. Remember to find out what is the way your partner loves to be loved and give them just that. Do a lot of listening. Do a lot of meaningful conversations. Do a lot of touching. Have an amazing week. I intend to have a blast for Valentine's. I would have last any Valentine's just falling in the middle of my blast. I really have an amazing Valentine's. And so enjoy your night, and thank you so much for being with me.